Welcome back to Ace Attorney. Give me a moment. Brain damage continues, as always. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Sorry about that. Ah, this appears to be most interesting. Yes, most interesting indeed, wouldn't you say? It's an impressive looking back massager, that's for sure. Why do we not know what a trophy is? I've no doubt that if you hit your shoulders a few times with that, your aches and pains would soon go away. It's a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science. A young scientist could wish for no higher honor. Oh. Would you like a massage? No, I'm fine, thank you. I had no idea it was such a grand thing. I think it's becoming increasingly clear that there's much more to this Mr. Noki than conjuring tricks. I couldn't agree more, my dear madam. And how about you, Mr. Naruhodo? Wouldn't you like to take it with you? For your tired shoulders, of course. He's not going to let that go, is he? It's curious, though, isn't it? You would expect such an important trophy to be proudly on display somewhere, not haphazardly cast aside. English gentlemen can be quite a mystery at times. Okay. There's a little metal plate here. Look. Fostering board. Oh, great. Fostering board burgeoning. I don't like this word. Talent for the future of scientific discovery. It seems rather ironic, doesn't it? But clearly Mr. Noki really was a very talented scientist. Nothing else? Nothing? That's disappointing. What on earth is this? An aeroplane, Mr. Naruhodo. One day, scientists believe it will allow humans to fly freely in the skies. Is that how the trick will be described, is it? Sorry? Well, it's actually suspended by a thin but very strong cable, isn't it? Oh, well, this model is, yes. But the real aeroplane would actually fly high in the sky. While suspended from somewhere even higher in the sky, of course. Of course. Because large metal objects obviously can't really stay in mid-air unsupported. So, to you, the solution is ever taller towers? I plead guilty, sir. This lawyer is an idiot. Here's a small side info for people and language. In English, we call it an aeroplane or a plane. In German, it's called Flugzeug, which literally translates to flight thing. And I'm reconnecting to chat. This is... It's a European-style quiver of arrows with steel bolts inside. Oh, do you suppose? And the research you can't get me Martha. In other words, yeah, Hajoma Tukubashi theory. And all goes to GAAC, more buzzers again, all the world as a sham. Don't think we can. Nope. And we didn't pick this up, so. I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo. The machine is covered by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. There will be serious repercussions if you were to examine it from the Crown and the government. as nobody cares. Well, those two don't seem to be holding back. It's quite hollow inside. No working parts or devices of deception to be seen, my dear fellow. No loose change drop off the floor, nothing. Not even a bone on Toby ear for my dear fellow. British people are very much ruled by their own ideals, aren't they? I think that's just the case. That's just these two, Miss Susie. Sushi! Well, I would say we look first up before we continue with the door. Just to see if there's anything specific here, but I don't think so. No. This door is the best door I've ever seen. I mean, doesn't want to open. Yeah, looks like it got some pretty hefty log on it. With permission, Inspector, I could have the lock open in less than a minute. Yeah, Rex looked as though he really enjoyed that. Well, there's no sound of anybody on the other side. No, Noki must have fled at the first sign of danger. Mm-hmm. Oh! Waggles cone of fish and chips at you threateningly. Yes, but from a distance. Is something wrong, Miss Susie? Well, I thought I heard a noise from the far side of that door. Well, Gina, did you hear it too? Yeah, I heard it, no. What do you reckon, Toby? What, Mashima? As they left. Oh my, someone is in there. My dear Gregs, as I said only minutes ago. If only it were countenanced, I could unlock that door in less than a minute. Yes, Kozhwava. Get to Bashma. There, you may enter at will. You've confused minutes with seconds, I think. Time is of the essence, I feel. What are we waiting for? There's a strong possibility that beyond that door is the engineer you all seek. Be prepared for action, my dear fellow. Yes. Get him. Okay, there's a bomb. What happened in here? Why is everything upside down? Rats, there ain't no one in here after all. But But there must be. It was only moments ago that we heard those noises. Maybe that was the sound of Noki running away? But there's only one door in this room. And no windows that could afford an escape route. Those skylights are too high. What's that up there? Are they footprints on the ceiling?
我快活啥？ 这不咋是给把我这些。
Oh, that looks like a set of blueprints. To what?
这不是不看妈妈戏。妹妹，我这个我是命我推开门有一些没看不嘛了。
There's something of great interest here too. This rope was lying on the floor at the foot of that pillar. A rope? What's significant about that? Hoof prints on my ceiling? It's more likely than you think. You know, anti-gravitational centaurs. Never mind. You see, you do not observe, Mr. Naruhodo. We must investigate the entire room thoroughly, and before the fit arrive.
Fit.
Well, let's start with the ceiling. It's a really lovely model. It looks like a real flying balloon. I think it's probably staying aloft on the same principle as the full-size balloon, using gas. A green flying balloon. It does have the hallmarks of that amazing deception at the Great Exhibition, doesn't it? Could it be that the whole thing was planned here in this very workshop? There's no denying, is there? They are footprints. Yes, it would appear so. And I simply can't imagine how they came to be there. Isn't there a Susato shoot-up or something? Like a Susato takedown, I mean? I'm no Wonder Woman, Mr. Naruhodo. But you could be. All you need is a wonderful, strong rope. Or whip, or whatever. It's a rope. That would make her almost superhuman, I suppose. Almost every piece of furniture is upside down. Even Mr. Sholmes' suit isn't ever in this much of a mess. You're in no position to comment on mess, Mr. Naruhodo. But I suppose it's not quite the same thing, is it? I mean, it's not... that's their warning. Ah, interesting. I mean, it's not messy in here per se. It's that everything is literally upside down. But why? We don't know. That's a very large safe. I don't suppose even Mr. Sholmes could open that lock. Although,
If you were a thief, you could just steal the entire thing, I suppose. Yes, because it's so easy to carry around, right?
It's bolt.
Hi, Bob.
It's bolted to the floor to prevent exactly that sort of underhand trick, Mr. Naruhodo.
There we go. Well then, you could just steal the floor as well, I suppose. Yes, you could.
I'm sorry, but you really aren't making any sense at all. Anyway, I think we can agree that whatever is inside must be very important.
True. Mr. Sholmes, have you found something? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, yes, in point of fact, something rather fascinating. What do you make of this? Let's see. I've never seen anything like it before, and if I knew it was dynamite, I wouldn't touch it because I'm a protagonist in a puzzle game. It looks like a bundle of sticks and ah! Miss Susie, what's the matter?
That's a... Surely that's a time bomb, isn't it?
No! Ichimura! A time bomb? Sorry, but what is a time bomb exactly? You truly are one of a kind, Mr. Naruhodo, and you're not even in Bayonetta. I won't take that as a compliment. Heh, you know nothing, do you, Otto? What is bomba? I don't know. You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invite you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruhodo. But this particular specimen is no time bomb, though I confess it has a very similar appearance.
Oh, well, good. Thank goodness. But then, what is it?
I see, so that's it.
Goodness, Mr. Sholmes, have you seen the heart of the matter?
There are times when I consider my lot most unfair. For I'm fated never to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself. But I have learned to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Miss Susie. Here we go. I feel a great deduction coming. Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we see before us. The first is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Noki himself. As another matter of fact, I see that advertisement is coming in 3, 2, 1. And that's why we are going to wait for 3 minutes. I'm sorry for that. If you happen to watch the VOD, please feel free to click forward 3 minutes.
Oh no, now I have to deal with this. Every hour. Da-da.
Well, you know, Sari, you kind of missed the last 2 times. Saribot is not very good at at reporting the ad breaks, to be honest. Mr. Murloc Gnomes. Not Mr. Murloc Gnomes. Da, da, da. Da, da. Gosh. I like how my stuff is still pending for approval. Oh look, one of my animated emotes is now available. Congratulations. I'm lying. Actually, 2 animated emotes are available now for Tier 1 subscribers. Crazy. Da, 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 da. On the positive side, this means like that they actually do work on the approval. But yeah, it's slow. Also welcome back, chat. As we can continue. Something was said, but my Twitch chat is slow. I'm still waiting for a static one I submitted yesterday to get approved. Yeah, the thing is, it can even take up to 2 weeks to get approved for emotes, which is crazy because in most cases when I like watch other streamers, they basically upload new emotes and it goes live within a minute or something like that. But then again, all those are partners. So, yeah. Anyway. Is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Noki himself?
Oh, but how could you?
And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor there is without question a completely genuine.
Please, Mr. Sholmes, you must explain everything.
It would be a pleasure. Oh god, here we go. After all, it is a great detective's civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade. That face! Well, Inspector Greg seems delighted with the idea anyway.
Oh, you deflected the inspector's glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Sholmes. Well done.
You're too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly stand just there, Miss Susie.
Oh, yes, I would be delighted.
So, shall we begin? No. Once again, Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Here we go again. It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table and the chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Well, thank you, Seribot. That is also delayed by minutes. Almost as if every item in the room had until recently been happily positioned on the ceiling, before falling straight down onto the floor.
Every item in the room was on the ceiling. Are you suggesting that?
Indeed, the key here is gravity. It would appear that technology has at least succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the Earth. No. For the gravity in this room was reversed and then suddenly restored to normality.
Goodness!
The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. I quite understand your skepticism, Miss Susie. I, too, was incredulous at first.
You know what I think? I think that this room can flip, or at least move upside, like either it can rotate completely or partially.
However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. An anti-gravity device, almost identical to one that featured in a dream of mine only the other day, in fact.
He's absolutely delusional at this point. But then why does it have a clock on it?
A most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. There was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. And the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that restoration occurred. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because the anti-gravity device.
So what all of this proves is that Americans knew all along. They just throw dynamite into everything to reverse gravity. Huh?
Brain melt time, as per usual. The direction in which gravity acts is where The direction in which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Noki, before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the timer device. I have witnessed precisely this scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed.
Yes, that makes perfect sense.
Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably,
The best part is I can spell this word, but not right now.
The greatest clue we have to explain this action, his actions, is above our heads.
Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling?
A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Of course, Trevor's aim was a singular, to escape. However, there is but one way into this room, except the skylight that is.
Huh.
By inverting the gravity in here, Trevor was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way. Here's an interesting thought. So let's assume that this is all true. The next question is, what exactly is affected by the reverse gravity? Is it just this room, or is the device that turns over the gravity a sphere? Because if it's just the room, then you would literally escape through the window and instantly fall to your death, because you literally like turn on gravity again the moment you leave this room. And to make it even more awkward, let's assume it is a sphere. In other words, the gravity is outside also inverted, which basically would mean you would fall into the sky, and then you leave the sphere of gravity, and then you would fall normally back down, and then back up, and then back down, and then back up, and then back down. Which either leads to the situation that you cannot go anywhere because you trapped yourself into an ever-falling situation, or let's assume some movement make you move away from the place you are falling back and forth, which then also kills you, because at some point you will fall down from the height of a building onto the street by normal gravity. Strange.
But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Sholmes. If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. Noki have fallen up to the ceiling rather violently?
Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was cornered with nowhere to run, so escape through the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. Oh, the rope. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Which explains how Noki was able to escape this room before our arrival. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun. Of course. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. No. She didn't even pay attention. completely spellbound. Mr. Sholmes, there's just one thing that troubles me. I would expect nothing less. I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life. The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean? I would say that with man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century, it's no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. But your whole deduction hinges on it. Ah, but my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. However improbable it may seem. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of more enduring pearls of wisdom. Actual situation, it's actually bomb. It's actually a bomb? It's actually a bomb. It blows up, killing them all. The furniture is upside down because the guy in there threw a fit. Footprints on the roof cause freak out. He threw shoes at some point, and he is actually trapped under the fallen bookshelf. Trapped under the fallen bookshelf, I agree with you. The next most dumbest thing that we could say is like he put himself into the safe, but then he would actually die because of lack of oxygen. But let's see. I had Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My original was clumsy. Yes, I have a feeling I've read it in something that Miss Susie lent me once.
Objection!
Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Sholmes.
The spell's broken at last.
The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it?
Indeed it was, in lonely coils near the wall.
But if Mr. Noki had used it to escape in the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall?
Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end, as I think you will find do ropes. And as evidence of such, you need only to look at the mystery we faced in this room, now skillfully unraveled. That argument is as circular as the coils of the rope.
I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Sholmes the usual little helping hand. I'm sure with some minor corrections, the great detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth.
Yeah, you're right. And we must do it quickly before Noki gets too far away. If you're ready, then let us resume. Sherlock Holmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Here we go.
Everything is upside down.
Here we go.
To think gravity could have been reversed in this very room, I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive such an explanation.
But the man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so...
Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once.
Oh, that's unusual. That's unusually merciless of you, Miss Susie.
When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said so, didn't he?
While refusing to part with his dreams of anti-gravity devices.
Yes, I suppose so.
Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. It's gonna be fun.
All the furniture in here is very conspicuously upside down, certainly.
Yes, it does immediately put you in the mind of some strange quirk of gravity, I admit. See, the thing is that nothing happened in this room. This was already placed like this to begin with. To fool us, because Mr. Nocky is very good at fooling people, so this is another scene of this. Okay, go home now, see you in 20 minutes or so. Safe and sound traveling there, Angie.
Ah, could it be that the mini whirlwind passed through here, do you think?
I'm not sure what... That's much more plausible than Mr. Sholmes' explanation.
Oh dear, saying the first thing that comes to your head isn't the way forward here, it seems.
Well, well, I wasn't expecting to find a pretty bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure.
Ah, look at that.
I know, that slender vase looks like it's about to topple at any moment, but the flowers are thriving. Hello, Vilnoise. Hey, Vilnoise, notice it? I have reached affiliate since yesterday. Somehow it makes you think of the fragility of life, wouldn't you say? Yes, yes, indeed.
To be honest, Mr. Naruhodo, something else about it made a rather deep impression on me.
Ah, look, Miss Susie. You got points now, yes. When everything seems to be upside down in here, this save is conspicuously... Blah, 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 blah.
Yes, that's true. But look more closely at the safe's feet.
Can't see on mobile what they are called. They are called Kodama. Blue streamer, but no blue emotes. Unplayable. Ah. You know, the emotes are... I bought the emotes as an emote pack from Sifiro, or Sifiro. I don't exactly know how to pronounce their name. And they are more or less placeholders until I get my own emotes. Yeah, Sephiroth. Indeed.
But look more closely at the safe's feet.
The dude from Final Fantasy? No. Huh. Oh. Um, well, does it work? Okay, it doesn't want to work. There we go. Sephiroth is, well, more or less known among furry artists. Has also a different name. Is the answer anticipation? No. Ah, that's a lot of very large bolts fixing it to the floor. Think before you speak? That's what you wanted to say, isn't it? I really put my foot in my mouth here.
I certainly didn't say that.
The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the burn. It's also the inverted furniture. As far as I understand, there's only the upright vase, the safe, and nothing else. Pufferfish? No.
Take that!
The upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the part of the gravity plate in this whole business. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you've surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. Time? No. 1 pound of fish? No. Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps? No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Sholmes, trust me. As you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in this room is upside down, this unassuming slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe, there is nothing affixing it to the floor. But it could be glued to the floor. Yes, and you can't also affix the flowers to the vase. And it's the expectation that breaks the rule. In short, much as it pains me, the gravity in this room was never inverted at all. My my deepest sympathies for your loss. Glue the vase. Yes, the bottom of the vase. Would be a pain to move it anywhere. Yeah, but that's not the idea.
Oh, poor Mr. Sholmes.
But then the show must go on, so let us continue with our deductions. Now that we know this contrivance is not in fact an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? Quite, and naturally there is an explanation. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he?
I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong.
Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all this furniture over. Silence. No. So whoever it was must have had a reason.
I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though.
Well, let's look around and see if the answer presents itself. It's a coal-burning heater, I think, isn't it?
Yes, it is, but it's not just for heating, you know. You can grill on it, bake on it, boil and steam things with it. It serves all sorts of purposes.
Bomb. Bomb indeed, but it's not the solution to the riddle. If that was a guess. That seems like having your cake and eating it too. Not unlike a heated kotatsu table with a nabe hotpot, a mikan orange, a cat, and an elderly relative. I'm not sure what a mikan is. The rest is clear. Man, now I want nabe hotpot.
Oh, you mean it seems too much? I suppose perhaps it does. But you realize only some of those things on your list are edible, don't you?
Uh-huh. Look, there's something written on the underside of this armchair.
Oh yes, safe 432582.
Safe? As in safe and secure?
As in secure lockable box, I think.
Admittedly, more likely.
Well, there's a large safe bolted on the floor on the other side of the room, so yes.
So you mean this number would let us open it?
I wonder why it's written here, though.
Tortoise, turtle, armadillo, snail, clam. No. We've already established that the gravity wasn't actually reversed in here, haven't we? In other words, this isn't an anti-gravity device at all.
Which makes me very curious to know what sort of device it is.
It's an actual time bomb.
But I think for now, it's clear that we are looking for an answer elsewhere.
The very reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of, well, this. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. That sounds very tedious to just turn over a chair. Unless he basically looked for the password. Precisely. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that you had a very similar experience once, did you not? Yeah, last year. And I bought a lottery ticket and noted the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book just in case. That's it. For people are forgetful souls at heart and always make a written note of important information.
Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think.
And what, pray, happened next, Mr. Naruhodo?
When the day of the draw came around, I'd forgotten which book I'd written the number in and had to turn my room upside down to find it.
That's it. For people are forgetful souls at heart and always forget where they've noted things down.
Not if you always note things in the same place.
I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine I'd slipped. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo, but I believe I've proved my point now. Which is that a very similar scenario has clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code. He remembered that he'd written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one. Leading to the state in which we now find the room. Yes, Mr. Noki overturned all the furniture in here, in a desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe. Hooray. Now let us consider the conundrum. Next conundrum.
Well, if a change in the direction of gravity can't explain it, then how did those footprints get there?
Yes, I feel as though that particular mystery has just become even harder to solve.
I can't think of any other way to explain it at all.
Sound, wave, stream, no.
Ah, life was much simpler in those halcyon days when gravity could be reversed.
It was a minute ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place.
Well, I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Sholmes and observe the area in more detail.
Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what gets us in those situations in the first place. This is a gas balloon, isn't it? It's tiny, but it does seem to be a real balloon. Hot, no.
Yes, I think you're right. I think it's helium that's keeping it up.
Green gas balloon. Why does that seem ring a bell with me?
If you can see, there are footprints on this balloon too. Look!
Oh yeah. Surely that's a clue, isn't it? Though what it tells us, I'm not sure. Interesting. There's also a shoe. It's hard to believe, but cold temperature, no. There's a shoe up there, look. Boot to the head.
Ah yes, There are more footprints on this little balloon too. Perhaps the shoe was thrown up here and became lodged, do you think? If so, judging from the number of footprints, it must have been thrown up several times. Why would anyone be throwing shoes up at the ceiling though? Oh dear, that's beyond me, I'm afraid.
It's not gonna be the skylight, but let's listen to it regardless. Looks like there are only windows. Huh? It looks like these are the only windows in the room. In other words, if you wanted to escape without using the door, these skylights would be the only way.
Yes, that's true, but even so.
And right next to the escape route, we notice some telltale footprints.
Nevertheless, as we've said many times now, gravity can't explain how they got there.
But powerful springs in the soles of a man's shoes could.
Have we been having strange dreams as well, like Mr. Schultz?
Reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because the nearby shoe?
Take that!
The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. And on closer inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the skylight at all, but the balloon.
But for what purpose?
A green balloon. That seems somewhat familiar, Data. Traffic. No.
It was a piece of green balloon envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene.
And inside the green balloon was that mask. Who was Master Gods again? Balloon that Mr. Gods claims saw above the stage when the incident occurred. Rest. No. Was the second birdcage the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception?
You mean to say?
If we assume the balloon in here is a model of the one used on that day, there is a strong possibility something may be concealed inside of it. Something our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. But the balloon's out of reach. Hence why he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe. Most probably, Noki intended to tear a hole in the envelope by assailing it with a shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights.
Oh dear, we desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there were some way we could see inside.
You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
Oh, the rope.
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? Call. No.
Mr. Sholmes has managed to bring the deduction back to the rope.
Alright, I have to admit, that was clever. So we just throw the rope up to the balloon and then pull it down to the ground?
Which is much easier said than done, I feel. And could take us a very long time as well.
True, perhaps we need more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we? To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow?
That was found at the scene, in fact.
And in all likelihood belongs to Mr. Noki. If the man had only brought it away with him that day, he could have avoided losing a shoe at such critical time as this. So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is it that Noki has hidden inside that balloon? Aha.
What the? It's the missing head. A waxwork.
Indeed it is, a waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock.
So we can't see the face inside, that means. Just a moment. This is the head of the waxwork model? Does that mean, oh goodness?
I see you've joined the dots, Miss Susie. Excellent.
Ah, of course, the headless waxwork model.
Case of the abducted Madame Tussauds model that you'd largely solved. It was only the head of the killer that was still missing. Sleeping bag, no. Indeed it was. But I believe Madame Tussauds will now have to settle her sizable account with me. This, as you have now surmised, is the head of the infamous professor.
Yes, but why is it here?
This conclusively confirms my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Tussauds and returning it sans tête earlier today was none other than Noki. Sans tête is French and means without head.
This is incredible. Professor Bunbun's case and the waxwork abduction they are inextricably linked by Noki's workshop.
Well, it appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. Yes, but...
Uh-huh. This lock does look very strong, doesn't it? There's definitely no way you could remove the mask yourself if it was put on you. What a terrible way to treat someone, even a convicted criminal. I know, it's starting to make me livid, actually. Mr. Naruhodo, please. I mean, just think about it. Imagine if you had an itch on your cheek and all of a sudden you would be utterly helpless. Well, yes, that's true. But I'm not sure that warrants quite so much anger. Oh, right, sorry.
Anything else? No. Okay. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure.
The architect? You mean Mr. Noki?
As it seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylights. Obviously, the man must still be in this room.
What?
And his location should be abundantly clear. If you simply reflect on the journey we've made together during this deduction.
Noki is right here, somewhere in this room?
So, Mr. Naruhodo, will you do the honors? Yes, of course. Mr. Noki's hiding place must be the...
This bomb!
It's the safe. It's the ceiling. What could it be?
Take that!
Is it not? Oh my, alright, Mr. Drebber, come out. Oh. Not there, Mr. Naruhodo.
But I don't understand.
You could always climb inside yourself. Please don't mind us, go ahead. I know you are fond of wardrobes. I'll think of something else, thank you very much. Okay.
Where could Mr. Noki be hiding? I'm sure that we've already come across a clue that reveals the answer, you know?
Yes, it was deduced by all the...
Yes, it was when we deduced why all the furniture here was upside down, wasn't it?
That gave us the answer, I'm sure.
We are very close, Mr. Naruhodo, I can sense it. He actually put himself into the safe? Why? That's insane. That's just crazy.
I have reconnected to my chat. Good job, Twitch.
Hi, Dizzy. Guess what happened yesterday?
I'll go visit the store. Oh. Look at all the mess in front of the safe.
Yes, plans and accounting ledgers.
Almost as if somebody was in a hurry to empty the contents of the safe, in fact. Yeah.
Take that!
Why would he do that? Before we gained access to the back room, we heard noises from in here. Which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at the point of time. He was in fact searching for the combination to this safe. And pressed for time made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process. From which we can deduce that this search for the combination happened very recently indeed. Congrats on, I don't remember what it's called, but the thing you know, the thing, the Twitch thing now, all the perks. What?
Ah, you mean affiliate.
In summary, Mr. Noki. Well, thank you. You know, I put my side of the work into it. But the most support comes from all of you guys being here, lurking, chatting, coming back and forth. So you did also a big chunk of this, which I'm very grateful for. So yes, Vilnois, thank you so much for being here, lurking, watching. Is at this very moment inside the safe. Why? Thus concludes Herlock Sholm's great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. Why is the Twitch website so weird when it comes to messages? Also, hi Bob. Yeah, I agree. Angry face. So, Mr. Naruhodo? Dear God, you're still alive. Have you been taking breaks? Every hour? Yeah? I like how you are shocked about that, Mono. Because I stream 5 hours every stream at least. Usually it even ends into 8 hours and more. I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide and seek, don't you? By opening the safe, you mean? What else? Let's see, the combination was 1...
432582.
I need that. Alright then, here goes. Why? Why?
You found me!
Okay, he's a puppet. He's a breakdancer. He's a breakdancing puppet. Oh my god. Great, and now I need a new voice. Which is good. I will think about this voice, because we are about to go into an ad break. And I will not go on with the game during ads. So, I will see you in 3 minutes. Cheers! What voice do I give Sephiroth? He looks like a very sad version of Sephiroth. Correct, 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 correct. I give him this, like, imagine I would give him this voice.
Correct.
That would be horrible. And my voice would be dead. Correct. Correct.
Correct.
Correct. Correct. Correct. Correct. Correct. Correct. Correct. Correct. Correct. Correct. Correct. Correct. Correct. I guess I'll go with that. Correct. Was he under the bookshelf? No, he was in the safe. I don't know why, because that is a really bad idea. Does he rob a hand? Probably. He's also a breakdancer and a puppet. Correct. Da, da, da. That's almost over. Interesting. Welcome back, chat. Correct. You better start talking. You tricked Professor Bun Bun with that bogus machine you built.
And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork from Madame Two Spells as well.
Whilst I would be delighted to answer your many questions, personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little puzzle first. Deactivate?
Your parcel?
I refer to, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in the most prominent position. I see. Stunned silence. You're all gearing up to die with me then?
No! Mr. Sholmes, with only 7 seconds to spare.
That was too close for comfort. I've got 1 foot in the grave already.
Mr. Sholmes' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they?
Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say.
Anti-gravity devices don't exist.
Whew. I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. Oh god, what happened here? What on earth happened in here? You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further.
Everything in here is precisely what it seems.
I don't know, I'm playing around. What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my wood workshop. That I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt. Whistling? Ah, that would have been me. Oh! For some reason, I woke in fine fettle today. Whatever that means. No words, just tightly squeezed chips. Clearly, I must have a screw loose, though, as I couldn't remember the combination from the safe. Another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it on. We also found a rope over by the wall.
Yes, I had hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly the rope was too short. So I then set about searching for the combination code to open the safe.
And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters. So I was mostly right that this guy is a nut who messed up the furniture, but not entirely correct on why. After that, you hid yourself inside the safe? Having first set up this puzzle taking? I mean, I understand now why he put himself into the safe, so when the thing explodes he will be unharmed. But how would he open the safe from inside? Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police. That is not what I wanted to click. The time bomb. Unharmed until he suffocates if the safe is not thrown and trashes him around like a pear in a rock tumbler. Yeah. Please? Why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe?
It's no ordinary safe, it's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it.
So in fact the safe was the only safe place.
Precisely.
But once you'd climbed inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again.
I invite you to look more closely. What do you see, Simba? Look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within.
So it is. Okay, this explains it. So then it wasn't a stupid plan.
I had always intended to blow this place to smithereens in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans. Hadn't you more? No, that was unforeseen.
What do you mean?
Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet.
Did he ever answer the boots on the ceiling? The thing is, there was a green balloon on the ceiling, and on the balloon we also had shoe prints. So what he actually tried to do is throwing the shoe at the balloon in the hopes that it will pop. But our best assumption at the moment is that he might also have missed twice, and the shoes landed on that part on the ceiling and left behind shoe prints. That's the assumption we have. There is a possibility maybe that there's something else as well, but this is the most logical, plausible explanation because of the balloon and the shoe prints on the balloon. Also, the shoe was stuck between the balloon on the ceiling and between the ceiling and the balloon. We made the balloon explode because we had a crossbow and arrows, and we found the head of the professor from the waxwork museum in it.
He calculated the time required for retreat to safe distance and set the device accordingly. But you seemingly endless discourse in here threw a span in the works.
So this whole room is just weird as heck. Funhouse of nonsense. The thing is, he was in this room. The room looked absolutely normal. He was in this room. The room looked normal. Then we came in. He noticed that we were here. And he wanted to do two things. On one side, he threw his shoe at the balloon because he wanted to get the balloon to pop so he could retrieve the waxwork head, which he failed. And because he noticed that we heard him doing that, he placed a time bomb. He actually not placed first the time bomb. He noticed that we noticed him in this room, so he panicked. What he then did is he planned to put down a bomb to kill everything, but of course he didn't want to die, so his thought is, I'm going to put myself into the safe, put down the bomb, let everything explode and then escape. But he forgot the code to his safe, but he remembered that he put down the code of the safe down on the underside of a chair, but he didn't remember where he actually put it. So he actually turned every furniture upside down to find the code. He found the code below the chair, then put down the time bomb, put himself into the safe, closed it, and that's how we found the room. like that everything was upside down. Shoe prints on the ceiling and a closed safe. And we thought everything was going upside down with gravity, so to speak. I hope this explanation makes sense. Is something wrong, Gregs? Do I have something on my face besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth? This guy is a clown almost on the scale of Mr. Gnomes. Kind of. I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. But what about the 2 incidents you've evidently been involved in recently? Professor Bunbun's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition, and the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to.
That is no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity.
I've seen, considering carrying, that's enough. Oh god, it's death.
What's going on here, Gregs? I'm sure you're aware that I have the sole jurisdiction to investigate here.
Sure, why? Dr. Death again. So the fit are here.
And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If Lord Strongheart, the wonderful Echidna, and Knuckles knew of this, you would be finished. You lot, leave at once.
My dear madam, there's no need for such threatening tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Death?
Hello, Sholmes.
Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Death? If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you are quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell you...
Get out!
But of course, we'll show ourselves the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Naruhodo? Yeah? It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today. But Mr. Sholmes, let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands.
I said get out. Now. All of you. Your presence here is not required either, Gregs.
你学校 Let us leave this place, yes.
Göbische kommer minne misha. Är det kort till Bashama? Till baby kort i din. Att ta kors höpa börse. Till Kanma. To Warshisha. Kim
Inspector. What?
Göbische kommer.
So sorry, didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course.
You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Yes, you did disarm that one. Oh yeah? That one? Yeah, me?
Whoops. Oh. Well, these guys are dead. Yep, they are dead. Jeez. It was an hour later that we heard the news of the enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage at the Great Exhibit. Professor Bun Bun's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever. To be continued. And this is gonna be the point where we will return to this wonderful game of absolutely zero brain rot.